My VFR sits a lot. It's a beautiful bike, I just don't ride it enough. Partially thanks to the dirt road I live down, and the NX500 I prefer to ride on a daily basis. So it's no surprise that sometimes the battery just runs dry. Charging the battery is no small feat, and jumping it is next to impossible. So I just move on to a bike that runs. Allowing a battery to die is not good for it. It leads to cell degradation and capacity loss, and eventually will render a battery useless. This is bad for a VFR, which has a notoriously finicky charging system. I don't like riding it with a cooked battery because it could damage the stator, and well, I don't know if it will start again if I turn it off somewhere. As of right now, the battery is completely dead. So today, I'm going to replace it with something I bought from Harbor Freight. So here it is, a Thunderbolt Magnum battery. You can get one of these from Harbor Freight for just under $50, and if you have an Inside Track membership, you can get it for under $45. I just happen to have one because I bought an air compressor and it was cheaper to buy the membership at the same time than it was to just get the compressor on its own. The funny thing is, this battery is meant for a generator. It is a BS12 battery, but Harbor Freight doesn't advertise it as one, although it will fit anywhere a BS12 battery is required. So for under $45, I could have a battery here today. Yes, you can get one off the internet for cheaper, but I only have today off, and it is a beautiful day. And I really, instead of filming this video, should be having this in and riding it right away. My other alternative was getting the correct battery from Walmart for $60, but like, it's just gonna go flat again anyway because I'm never gonna hook that maintainer up. But less of that. Let's get this battery in and see if it starts. Changing a battery on a VFR is really straightforward. Take the seat off, open the battery cover, remove the battery lugs, remove the battery, and replace it. Just take the key, insert it in the keyhole, pull down on the lever, and the seat comes off. Once we have the seat off, we can move the tool pouch, fold this rubber waterproof cover over, remove these two little pins, open the battery cover, and there we have the battery. Now you can see where I was saying jumping it is hard because it's very difficult to get anything with clamps inside this tiny compartment onto these tiny battery lugs. But a Phillips head screwdriver fits in there just fine. This battery is not held down by anything specifically, so just getting the battery cables off and removing the battery is straightforward. Now Honda was kind enough to provide us with tools. So there's a Phillips head screwdriver in here somewhere. The previous owner was also kind enough to provide me with tools. There's the screwdriver handle. Just put this back in the kit. I always remove the negative side cable first, just in case I touch the screwdriver to something. I don't have to worry about shorting it. Take the screw out, put it somewhere you won't lose it. This bike obviously has quite a few aftermarket attachments to the battery. We're just going to put those right back where we found it because it works just fine as it is. Now we have the battery bolts out. Just move the cables out of the way. Take the battery out. Let's go ahead and remove this battery, see if it's the same size and layout. Thankfully, it comes pre-filled. So physically, it is exactly the same battery. So hopefully, it should fit. Back of the bike, we're going to remove this cap for the positive terminal. Then we're going to take the supplied hardware and install the square threaded terminals inside of the battery. Now you want to be very careful not to lose these when you're handling the battery. So a good idea is to install the battery bolts to hold those lugs in place while you're handling the battery. That way they won't go anywhere. Then take the battery and install it right back where it belongs. Make sure not to push down any of the cables while installing the battery. Now that it's in there, we can go ahead and tighten it back down. Like I did when I was putting it on, I install the positive cable first, as to not worry about shorting my screwdriver on anything. And then we do the negative. Now that we have our battery installed, the right thing to do would be to make sure that it starts. I'm kind of a maniac, so I'm just going to put it all back together and hope that it works. After all, it's not that hard to get back to the battery if I need to. If you had something like a Yamaha or Suzuki Intruder where the battery is like sandwiched between the swing arm and the wheel, maybe this would be a good time to check it, but I don't think that's necessary with this bike. Let's fire it up. Perfect. Love that V4 sound. So what are we waiting for? Let's go for a ride.